Perfect. All right, we'll get started. So we're the University of North Florida. We just want to say thank you for allowing us to share our proposal with you today. That being said, we'll go right in to meet the team. I'm Michaela Benanti. I'm the VP Project Executive and Estimator for this job.
I'm Luke Kroll. I'm the project executive. I'm Deason Nichols. I'll be your project superintendent.
And I'm Jackson Edwards, the Senior Project Manager.
So who is Osprey Contractors? We are a GC based out of Jacksonville, Florida. We also have offices spanning West Coast to East Coast and have a 92% repeat client rate.
We've been in business for 54 years. For 23 years of that, we've had our steel prefab shop open. We are employee owned and we implement ESOP with all of our employees. We currently have 1,400 people working for us.
A little bit more about our steel fabrication. We produce 70,000 tons of steel annually. Currently have 3 locations in Utah, Florida, and Texas, and looking to expand up north toward the East Coast.
You're probably asking yourselves, why choose Osprey Contractors? And that begins with our partnership with Hyatt. Since 2021, we've completed 3 projects for them with 14 weeks of time savings as well as $4.8 million. We have 3 recent projects that we like to show off that are similar to the Hyatt Regency, Salt Lake City. First being our experience in the city of Salt Lake City with our Wells Fargo Center in Salt Lake City with similar vertical structure with structural steel as well as tight project boundaries. Second, Hyatt Regency Denver shows our partnership with Hyatt as well as a rooftop pool similar to the one here, as well as multiple curtain wall systems and framing as well. Next, we know that everyone here can build a project per the plans, but using the site efficiently is the way that we like to complete these projects and show off our skill. First, we want to show that our parking area, we found a site to rent as well as a laydown yard for this project. Considering the tight project boundaries, there's going to be on-time deliveries, and we're working with the city of Salt Lake City to present a means of transportation in order to use our project well for construction deliveries as well as concrete. We have 7 full-time staff here on this project, as well as a support staff with safety and quality and our pre-con team.
So with that being said, we'll move into estimating. We have created these wall finish allowances since the interior elevations were omitted from our bid package. Obviously, we'd like to get these numbers crunched down for you guys with a partnership in the future. So going on to self-perform, we're self-performing structural steel and erection with our Osprey Steel team, and then divisions 8, 9, 10, and 32 as well. Work self-performed is looking at that 7.99%. Benefits of this would be quality control, schedule performance, and accelerates our closeout. So diving into this a little more, you can see our 2 teams. Our Osprey Steel will be doing the steel fab and erection, and then our in-house workforce that is on our payroll will be doing doors and frames. We'll be doing Division 10. We have parquet striping. We have floors, FF&E install, as well as signage. So looking at our estimate cost, we have our cost of work broken out. That's around that $257 million range. Indirect cost is looking at that $48 million, and then total cost is $305 million. So why should you trust our numbers? We want to give you the most precise numbers possible, and that starts with our estimate. That's taken off every HSS column, every W beam, and then we convert it into our tonnage chart on the right. As you can see, we're finding that total price to give that to you. Same thing with concrete. We're doing all of the piles, all the pile caps, shear walls, every single bit of concrete and rebar we have taken off and calculated that total cubic footage and tonnage of that. So value engineering, we're going to utilize a new VTAC from the chiller. That's the vertical terminal AC unit. Basically, what we're going to do is swap the in-room terminals from the FCU piping to the VTAC packages. This is going to downsize the chillers to save money. That's about $2.8 million for this project. And here at Osprey Contractors, we've done this for 3 projects in the past, ranging from $2.5 to $3 million in cost savings for those.
The project is going to be broken out into 3 primary phases. The first phase is foundations. This is going to be roughly 8 months from notice to proceed all the way to mid-December of 2026 when foundations will be complete. Our second phase is going to be structural. This takes around 13 months. We're going to start again at mid-December of 2026, and then the building will be 100% dried in at the end of January of 2028. Our third is finishes. Now, finishes does overlap heavily with phase 2, but our drywall will be complete and hung at the beginning of February of 2028, and we will turn over the hotel to you at the beginning of November of 2028. So one of the most important things in a project is to start aggressively. That way we don't fall behind in the schedule. The way we're going to start out with this with the design. We're going to incorporate BIM modeling and the first 4 months. BIM modeling has a lot of benefits to it. One, our durations for our MEP trades are a lot more accurate because they're going to have a lot less clashes, rework. That's a lot of cost savings. Secondly, long lead items. We're immediately going to release all of our long lead time submittals, and that way we get all the items early rather than later because we do not want to push out our durations. And lastly, right when we get our permits in June of 2026, we're going to start excavating, and our foundation compaction will be finished July of 2026. For concrete phasing, we're going to start with the 2 mat slabs in phase 1 and 2. Then we're going to infill underneath the 6-foot mat slab, pour that, infill underneath all the 6-inch slabs, and we're going to split that up into 2 separate pour sequences. And then for steel erection, when we talked with our steel contracting team, they said, hey, let's go and use a crawler crane. One, it makes it to where we have a lot more of an efficient install. We're going to be going from the back, snaking all the way to the front so that we still have access to our steel pick zones. This also helps us with crane availability at the top right of the site because our concrete subcontractor is heavily on the critical path. We want to make sure we have no downtime with the crane for them. And here at Osprey Contractors, we want to keep the owner in mind, you guys. So some of the items that we're keeping you in mind for: 1, we have 2 months for you guys to furnish and train your entire team so we're ready for customers. Secondly, we are finishing 10 weeks before the NBA All-Star game. That way we have plenty of time for them to move in. Third time, we have a lot of float in our QC and completion list. Even though we have a lot of QC and completion lists as we complete floors, we're going to be going back through and repunching everything. That way everything looks perfect when you move in. And lastly, we are completing right before all of the holidays. This opens you up to a lot bigger of a revenue stream with everyone coming back home to meet their family.
On this project, we found 4 main hazards for safety, and I really want to point out mainly 2 of those. The first being the metal panel insulation. This will go right next to the salt shaker, which is a very, very difficult thing to do with that building. So we want to make sure we use the scissor lift and make sure there's ample room between the scissor lift and the salt shaker so that does not get damaged. The second would be the crane swing. From day 1, there'll be a swing limiter to make sure it doesn't hit any other buildings and make sure it doesn't swing over any public areas. We also keep job site housekeeping very important. Clean site is a safe site. So we keep all work organized and clean, including our laydown yards, and keep all materials and scrap removed from the site. We also want to make sure our walkways are very clear and make sure no simple accidents happen. We also think quality and safety go hand in hand. For the wise words of Tiger Woods, safety protects our people, quality protects our work, and together they build success. We all know Tiger Woods is one of the most successful golfers on the planet, besides myself. But safety and quality are our top priority. So safety and quality control are separate internal entities in our company. So there'll be no conflict of interest between quality, schedule, and safety. And this is why Hyatt continues to partner with our team.
Everybody promises quality, but this is how we'll implement it. First, we'll use mock-ups, utilizing the facade system as well as the insulated metal panels and how they can join together so that the owner can see the process, as well as our interior finishes. Next, we utilize OpenSpace AI as a 360 camera so that we can provide job site progress for our owner meetings. And Voyage Control, our construction software, in order to utilize the hoist, the crane, and operate in knowing material deliveries to move people in the schedule ahead.
Now, a lot of people think of quality control and they only think of quality control on the job site. This actually extends into the community. And one of the ways we're going to incorporate the community into our job site is partnering with BYU's construction management program. Throughout all 3 phases of our project, we're going to incorporate site visits. That way we can help develop the future business leaders of America.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Questions?
Great job. I do have a question for you. Do you guys have in your cost proposal any contingencies to for like escalation or tariffs? And if you do, how much do you have included?
We do not have that included. No.
In your emergency action plan that you submitted, we couldn't find the steps of what you do to prepare for an emergency. So can you please explain what specific steps you take to prepare for emergencies?
To prepare for an emergency, we make sure we try to keep many steps involved. I guess that's a pretty good question that we had.
One way that we have a lot of our steps before the emergency. One, we're going to get everyone together. We're going to have a big meeting with the entire site or specific trade partners, depending on what the scope of work is and what emergency is coming about. We're going to talk to them. Hey, here's what's going to happen. Here's the rules we need to follow. In the case of an emergency, there's going to be an alarm that sounds. We all need to have these meeting points, and we're going to, and every single day when we're on our site, we're having the entrance, whoever's guarding the entrance is going to be taking note and signing in people as they go. That way, whenever we meet at our muster points, we can actually check who is there and are we missing anybody. That way we know if we need to contact emergency services.
Question back here. In your proposal on your organizational chart, you don't have anybody listed for part-time or full-time quality control, but then back in your quality control plan, you have a QC manager listed with responsibilities. Can you explain what your plan is, talking about how important quality and safety is to you guys?
So with our quality control manager, so far we have not selected the quality control manager. We're still trying to figure out who within our organization is going to be there. We might have forgotten to put that on our graphic, and that is our apology. But no matter what we do, we are in the works of finding out who within our team is going to mesh the best with this project.
And to go off of that, it wouldn't be billed to our projects because they would be bouncing around from project to project, each state. So we just carry that as part of our company cost for the jobs.
I have a steel question since you're self-performing steel. The big trusses that go in the ballroom are about 120 feet long, which means you can't drive them on the road. How are you guys going to plan the site for bringing those trusses in? How are you putting them together while keeping the rest of the job running?
So I know our laydown yards are near the site, but we could also go on the site. We would be erecting it there instead of prefabbing that part of it. Jackson can probably talk more about the site utilization plan and delivery method for that.
As far as deliveries go, we'll have that being an on-time delivery, and most likely similar to a concrete pour, we'll have it at night just so we don't disrupt any traffic as well.
And during the steel erection part of the project, we have 2 lanes of traffic reserve. That gives us plenty of room, at least to offload and load the project. Of course, later on, we're shrinking that to 1 lane of traffic, so we should have plenty of space to bring that in.
I have a question. With the shift to the VTAC systems as proposed, does that have any kind of operational maintenance implications to it for our staff? Do they have more that's required of it than what's originally designed?
So it might be an additional cost to get the staff from them. They have a certain staff that they would use to come in and maintain that. That's more of a trade question for them. We just handle the proposal to give to the owners, so we would have to get back with you on that.
And when it comes to our O&Ms, we will be training your staff and facility. It'll be really similar to fan coil units. It's similar maintenance. They'll be changing some of the coils, cleaning coils. It's very similar as far as their maintenance. They'll just have to learn the different operations, and we'll teach them that.
For sure.
So I have a tag on a question to that going from one system to another. I think as an owner, I would have some concerns on guest satisfaction with the proposed system. Is that incorporated into your current price, or is that an opportunity to save money that we could talk about?
Yeah, so that would be an opportunity to save money. That would have to be another meeting. That's our proposal to save around that $2.5 to $3 million mark for you if you needed that savings to put somewhere else.
I have a question about overall labor. So it's forecasted that there's going to be, 15, 18 data centers being built in Utah, which takes a tremendous amount of craftspeople to build. If you have trouble getting labor and your subcontractors come to you requesting per diem, is that going to be a cost put back on us, or do you have a contingency built in your bid to cover that extra labor if that comes about?
So we do have a contingency built in for any discrepancies that do arise, and that was part of it that we did not put in our clarifications and assumptions. But yes, we do have money set aside for that.
Over here in the back right, I noticed in y'all's schedule you have 45 weather days mentioned at the end. Where did y'all come up with the 45 weather days specifically for this project? And part 2 to that is, if not all of them are claimed, what happens with those days not claimed and associated general condition, general requirement costs?
So with those 45 weather days, one of the people that's on our project has lived in Salt Lake City before and worked on projects. Our main reason for putting those 45 weather days is because during our a lot of our structure, it's in the middle of the winter. There's a lot of snow, and we predict that there's going to be a lot of pours that have to get canceled because of the snow. So that's where we came up with that. Now, as far as if we do not use up all those weather days, because we're going to do as much as we can not to, that will be a cost savings to you guys. You guys will, we'll talk about the documents, but the majority of the cost savings will go towards you. You'll get that money back.
Yeah, question right here. Being that we're in an urban area and you have two tower cranes, what's your plan to protect those tower cranes from somebody getting on site, say an adrenaline junkie, and wanting to go climb up that tower crane? What are you guys doing to protect that? Because we don't want to be on the news.
One thing that we have within our general conditions a security personnel on site. He'll be guarding it, and secondly, we're going to have fencing around that. We'll have locked gates. At least it's a deterrent, and people have to make an effort to get on there. But our security personnel will kind of enforce that. Be an active person on site at night when no one is there to really protect it. So
To add on to that, that's why we enforce our lockout tagout program. We make sure there is locks and gates around the cranes itself, so that way no one can ever get onto those.
No attractive nuisances.
no attractive nuisances.
To kind of go with that question, I was reviewing your estimate and I noticed you guys did not include any builder's risk insurance. Can you tell me how you plan to address any damage to the project site during construction?
So we did carry builder's risk insurance. It's carried in part of our GCs. We had that price listed out in there. But yeah.
So I have a question regarding your self-work. You have quite a few different scopes that you are self-performing. What have you done to ensure that you are cost competitive with the current market?
Yeah, so since they are on our payroll, it's easy for us to shift manpower around. We do have our in-house workforce that has done self-performing on every job that we have done. I don't know if you can speak more about that, Deason.
Well, I've had a lot of experience. I originally, when I didn't go to college to go into the trades, I grew up basically working it, and I know how to install the flooring, how to install signage. A lot of this stuff isn't super complicated. So we have some of the best carpenters on our team. They'll be able to install it efficiently, and we have good relationships. Since we've done this throughout project, we have good relationships with these suppliers, and we have competitive pricing. We don't have a subcontractor that is increasing the price for a little bit of profit. We're keeping it down because it's in-house.
Based on y'all's response to addendum number 3, it looks like you're showing the restaurant being completed after the All-Star game. Is there any opportunity to make that restaurant complete prior to the All-Star game?
Yes, sir. So, when we are building out the 6th floor, we typically have it sequenced where once we're about 2 floors ahead in concrete, that's when we start doing the interior build out. We'll incorporate that inside of that typical time frame. It shouldn't actually increase the project duration by much. We might have to get a little bit more manpower, but we'd just be building it out right when pretty much when the 8th floor structure is complete. That's when we'd continue doing that instead of doing a shell space. So project duration wouldn't be increased with all that.
Front left here. Quality is very important to us. Obviously, it's such a high profile project. Can you talk through your quality control policy and what do you guys see as the most challenging QC hurdle on this project?
Yeah, Jackson.
Yeah, our quality control policy will be utilizing Procore as stated in the RFP to initiate all inspections, as well as our drone that can navigate inspections for the building facade as well. And so we'll be utilizing, and the most challenging will probably be the facade glass in its connection with the metal panels. And we'll be using our QC and a building consultant to navigate those.
And in order to have quality control on those panels, we will be doing multiple iterations of weather testing. I know we just do typically one set of pressurization testing. We'll be doing that throughout the project and daily throughout the project so we don't damage any of the interior finishes before it's 100% dried in. Before we leave for the day, we're having the entire team walk one floor each, multiple floors, to make sure that no water has gotten in and that it's still all sealed. If there's any openings, we put blue skin or something over top of it temporarily until the guys get in the next day.
And to go off of that, with our in-house workforce doing divisions 8 through 10, I wouldn't say it's easier, but we can control the quality a little bit more so we're not passing word down through people and having to go through 3 other people to get, something out to them.
And follow-up question to that, if you could give your quality control manager one superpower for this job, what would it be?
Power.
X-ray vision. He sees everything, even above ceiling. He knows everything that's wrong in the project. He can see through all the lies, people trying to get away with stuff. He calls them out, okay?
So right here, you mentioned using a drone for quality control, but we're gonna have multiple cranes on site. So what's your plan to control that and not have the tower cranes or the crawler crane get disrupted by the drone or vice versa?
Yeah, while using the drone, we'll utilize crane downtime. Maybe it's lunchtime for the crane operator so that we're not interfering with any of his picks that day.
There's to go off of that, sorry to introduce in, there is also an option where we could put a camera and get, on the other building across the street, and it will do 24 live footage, and the owner and us will be able to log into it anytime to see, time lapse of the structure going up.
Over here in the back right again, I noticed on your general conditions you have about $2,000 a month listed for a coffee and donut budget for OAC meetings. Could you let us know if you're selected? What would we anticipate at OAC's $2,000 a month with coffee and donuts?
That's just, to have a good time, I guess.
We have this beautiful shop in our Jacksonville office called Parlor Donuts that has these glazed croissants, and we want to take them. We're shipping them straight there, keeping it hot the entire time. That way, you guys can experience across the country.
We'll also have an espresso machine with a full-time barista if you like.
Hi. Great job, great presentation. I did notice we have our good faith effort goal of achieving 10% at a minimum, and I did not see you commit to that in your proposal. Do you have a plan to meet this and exceed it?
Yes, we do. We have a chart that is included in our proposal about that and our phases to get them involved in everything to make sure they have a fair bidding price.
Yeah, we'll pre-qualify subcontractors, whether it's in the city of Salt Lake City or it's minority or veteran owned, and we plan on doing that, committing to it.
Luke, I notice you've got a movie coming up. Can you tell me the plot line that Mark Wahlberg's playing you in that movie?
So I am just about as good as a golfer as Tiger Woods, so he would have to be a golfer at some point. So I definitely think him going play golf, and since we're from Florida, he would be one of the players.
Any more questions?
Addendum 4 has some updated contract language, and in here you provided some red lines. Can you please explain why you struck consequential and replaced that with liquidated?
Jackson, P and Blake.
Yes.
Needs a minute.
Um, right now, I cannot answer that question at the time, but I can get back to you.
Earlier you had a slide up with your aggressive early start schedule, and it looked like you were completing BIM for the project in the span of 1 month. Um,
Uh,
can you clarify?
I can clarify on that. So we had that BIM was getting started in those buildings. Now, this is a continual effort as there's a bunch of revisions with the project. Our main objective is to get all the drawings combined with all the different trade partners, whether that's electrical, mechanical, get everything together. And at the end, that's in the first month. That's for the garage and the monument building or the podium building. The next month is where we'll actually go into the hotel and getting that BIM modeled. The month after that is where we're starting to do clash detection. We're not going to finish clash detection no matter what our priority is, getting everything closest in the schedule done. So it's going to be a continual effort with all of the trade partners. It will never truly be finished, but no matter what, we're going to get the majority of the major clashes out of the way. That's our goal.
We have time for one last question.
Okay. We have 9 other firms that we are interviewing today for this project. So aside from that awesome barista that you mentioned and the donuts, why should we choose you to build this for us?
I like to say, with our ESOP, that means we're employee owned. We're all like one big family. We want the best for our company, which means we want the best for you. That's everyone putting their best foot forward to get the job done because we benefit from it and you guys will benefit from it as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.